there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. Today, though, I want to talk about goal setting as we're wrapping up this year and starting a new one. In today's video, I just want to give you some advice on different approaches to goal setting, and then next week I'll follow up with my Q4 recap. How did my goals go at the end of this year, and what am I thinking about for the future? So again, to begin, there are obviously a lot of approaches to goal setting that you can take. The one I'm taking for 2023 is what I'll start with. And the question I ask myself is, what aspects of my life drive me the most? So they motivate me the most, or they inspire me the most? And that's what I kind of wrote down, right? I just kind of listed down what aspects of my life motivate me the most or inspire me the most. And so in that sense, you kind of get two types of, goals that come out of it. Because inspirational, right? In that sense, I was thinking about my Ever Educating, side hustle, right? My YouTube channel, my website, my consult calls. That really inspires me. I really enjoy doing this work and sharing with others advice and experience. So that obviously went on my list. Okay, I want to make some goals about Ever Educating. Likewise, I'm a creative writer. I am currently searching for a literary agent for my picture books. And so that really inspires me as well. Having the time to write my stories, I want to branch out with different genres next year. So creative writing was another aspect of my life that I wrote down. But then there's motivational. And I saw that as a bit different than inspiring, because motivational, the one that came at me was my health. So physical health, mental health it motivates me. I want to have better physical and mental health, physical especially, and yet I, year after year, don't meet my goals for weight loss or for exercising, where the case may be. So in this sense, it's not like I wake up every morning and say, oh, I can't wait to exercise. Like, I never feel that way. But I'm motivated to be healthier. So that's why health went on the list as well. So that's how I'm differentiating between motivation and inspirational. Inspirational is more like really enjoyable for me, and motivational is more, I want to have this even though it doesn't excite me in the same way as what inspires me. So those are the three main things I listed down, and then from there, you goal set. Okay, so what goals about Ever Educating, what goals about creative writing, what goals about health did I want to accomplish? And so that's one approach to figuring out what goals you want to have for the next year. Now, another approach is to think about things that you're unhappy with in your life, right? So maybe things are going really well and you want to reflect on that too. Sure, I recommend doing that so you get that boost in confidence, boost in excitement. But then think about, what aspects of your life do you really wish were much better? And so again, this kind of connects to my motivational one, right? I wish my health was much better. And so you might think, okay, I wish that I was producing more research. I wish I was spending more time with my family. I wish I was going out and meeting people more. I wish I was spending more time on my painting hobby, right? So things that are lackluster or definitely below par, like below what you want it to be, maybe list those out and use those as inspiration for your goals. Okay, if I'm happy with this part of my life, what can I goal set to improve it by the end of next year? So that's another approach to doing it too. It's more focusing on those weaknesses in your life and how can you improve upon them with some goal setting. Now, a third approach is for the people who I always have goals and I never actually meet them. I procrastinate or I get distracted. So perhaps for you, rather than having goal setting of a distinct endpoint, maybe your goal setting is processes. So I'm going to set a goal of working out twice a week, not a goal of weighing this much by the end of the year. Or I'm going to set a goal of spending 1 hour a week with my best friend because we, have lost touch recently, life's been happening. So I'm going to goal set of 1 hour a week. I'm either calling her throughout 15-minute, conversations throughout the week, or we're doing a 1 hour Zoom call at one point. We're going to go meet for coffee for a half hour twice a week, right? So it's not have a better relationship with my best friend. It's what are you going to do that's going to accomplish that imaginary endpoint. But the endpoint doesn't really exist, right? So you're not thinking I want to weigh 160 pounds. You're saying my only goal is to exercise twice a week, 52 days 52 weeks of the year, right? So that might be helpful because in that case, it's more you're building the habits that are going to get you to that goal one way or another, maybe not next year, but into the future. So that's a third approach that I think can be really helpful. A lot of my goals for like this past year, for example, are what I call process goals, right? Hang out with a friend every month, right? So you can build bonds that way, right? Create an exercise routine that you enjoy. So that's another one that you can approach, for your goal setting. While there are other ways of goal setting that you can, of course, look up as well, I want to kind of shift now into, okay, you've set your goals, however they might be. Are you going to track them? And if so, how are you going to track them? I'm a big believer in tracking goals as a way to keeping yourself in check, keeping yourself like, I didn't meet with a friend last month. Let's make sure I do it this month, right? Seeing it visually, I find to be very helpful. So you might decide, okay, like how am I going to track it? Am I going to track it on a paper planner? Am I going to track it in a digital notebook? Am I going to track it in an app? So you might decide in that sense, how are you going to help yourself achieve your goals by tracking it in certain ways. And so in that sense, you might think of internal tracking. So, okay, I'm just going to, write down in my notebook. Or is it going to be external, right? Are you going to say, all right, I want an accountability buddy. And every month we're going to meet up, have a chat, enjoy ourselves. But also we're going to compare notes on how our goals are going. So in that sense, now you have an external reason to achieve a goal because you want to make sure you can have some good news to tell your partner. So I think really reflect on yourself and consider, are you someone who can achieve goals with just internal motivation? Fantastic. I'm not that person though, so I think having an external drive as well can be really helpful. So for example, I have an iWatch. I share the stats, right, the standing and the exercise and the calorie burning with my family members, with my brother, my mom and my dad, and they share as well, so we can kind of cheer each other on, right? So do you have a tool, an iWatch or something else, a Fitbit, where you can share that data if part of your goals are tied to physical health, right? So consider internal, external tracking. What are you going to do? So I really hope this is helpful to you. If you have your own suggestions of setting goals, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to know what your approach you take. And again, next week, I'm going to actually give the information on my Q4, how many goals did I accomplish this year, what am I looking at in the future as well. So I'll see you next time with a new video.